What is the best way to watch movies that you've never thought of? Okay, I'll be honest, it's a bold statement. I'll just say that up until a few weeks ago, I had never thought of it. I don't know if you know this, but in most towns, there are these buildings called libraries, and you're not gonna believe this. This is the crazy part. Inside of them, there's a bunch of free stuff. And I'm serious, like there's so much of it. It's a whole building filled with books and movies and computers, and it's all free to use. I don't know who's been hiding this stuff from us. Okay, but jokes aside, at some point, we've all been to a library, whether it's a public library in your town or at a school as a kid. But I feel like we don't talk about or appreciate libraries enough, so let's talk about libraries. I'll explain from my own experience my relationship with libraries because everybody's gonna have a different perspective. I used to love reading as a kid, and I literally used to get yelled at in class for reading when it wasn't reading time. That's how much of a nerd I was. And then I'd cry and piss my pants and stuff. It was a whole mess. That's besides the point. The point is, I don't do that anymore. I don't read. I still piss my pants. Why? Why don't I read anymore? I think for a lot of people it's the same. As you grow up, you just don't have time to read. And with the abundance of online media, our attention span has just been completely destroyed. So to keep a long story short, my love of reading diminished over time, and with it, the need to go to the library. I have so many memories of taking books out at the library as a really young child, and my local library even had a class where you did like Lego building competitions and stuff. It was like the coolest thing ever. So that's my backstory with libraries. But what brought us to this point in time where I'm sitting here rambling on about them to you? Yes, that's the actual name of the section. I don't know what to call it, okay? The sections aren't important, okay? I love movies, right? So when I was going to the library to study with my girlfriend and I saw the movie section of the library, I was completely floored. A part of me always knew that the library had movies, but I just never really gave it a thought because my idea of movies at the library was that it's the same movies that are in your grandparents' basement. There's like a VHS tape of The Worm Eaters or some random you've never heard of, and then a DVD of Dumb and Dumber for some reason. Just the most random horrid that you could ever watch on screen, right? But no, this notion was completely shattered. Look at the movie section at my library. I mean, holy hell, just about any movie of the last 30 years you could think of, they probably have. I mean, they have The Social Network by David Fincher, and then about 5 steps over, they also have Skyscraper with The Rock, if you're into that kind of thing, I don't know. They also have a music section, which is the strangest concept to me. It's baffling for 2 reasons. 1, who the hell still uses CD players, period? And 2, who the hell wants to borrow a CD? Like, who just rents a CD, listens to it, and is like, great, I'm gonna just return it and not listen to it anymore. It's just strange, I don't know. And seriously, who is renting the soundtrack to Air? That's just the most random thing ever. Whatever, I digress. Movies are fun. What was I saying?
Sounds like a
Hoopla! Hoopla!
Okay, so why should you actually go to the library? What's the hoopla about? Well, I think the biggest benefits to the library are having access to a lot of movies that aren't available on streaming, and the biggest factor of them all is that they're all free. That's right, baby. If you can't afford 80 streaming services that are getting more expensive every single month, literally just walk to your local library. Pretty much every town has one. Get a free library card, and you have access to countless free movies, and I mean countless. Again, showing you this footage. That's a lot of goddamn movies. Listen, guys, this is what your tax dollars are going towards. So in a way, you're kind of paying for it, but don't make it in vain. You know, go grab a movie. Make those tax dollars worth it. Maybe there's a movie you've always wanted to watch, but it's not on any streaming services, and you don't want to pay to rent it. So go to the library. I can hear some of you saying, "Well, Chris, if it's not on a streaming, well, I can't speak. If it's not on a streaming service, just use a VPN and go to a country that has it." Right? That's the argument. But maybe this is just me. There's one problem with it, but maybe this is just me. Lately, when I try to use my VPN to change my, to another country to watch something, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me anymore. Like when I try to switch to Netflix, this just happened with me. I was trying to watch Old Boy on Korean Netflix, and I tried to switch to Netflix, and then it just keeps buffering and loading, and it doesn't work. So then I had to watch Old Boy on a bootleg website, and I got like a million viruses on my computer. Long story short, VPNs are overrated, okay? I don't know, maybe I just have the brain of an 85-year-old man and I can't use technology anymore. Anyway, maybe there's a foreign film that you can't access anywhere, or similarly, maybe a really old movie that's not super widely available. That's where you find the foreign and classic film sections, and while they're not the biggest, they're still there. I'm telling you guys, name any movie and I'm gonna find it at my library. Not every library will be as extensive, some might even be bigger, but I live in a pretty small town, so I can only imagine what some other towns or cities might have. But the movies being free isn't the best part.
Blueface, baby. Yeah, I
When I do look for movies, I mostly skip over the DVDs and I look for the Blu-rays. The reason being is mainly for quality. Blu-ray discs are gonna give you the best quality possible, especially if you have a good and up-to-date Blu-ray player and a good screen. Don't have a Blu-ray player, you say? Well, do you have a gaming console? Boom, problem solved. Don't have a gaming console? Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you, but even an Xbox 360 should work, I think. I haven't touched this thing in years, honestly. I don't know. Movies that are listed on streaming services like HBO Max and Netflix are ultra compressed, and much of the image quality is reduced when you're watching online. Even if you download the movies on your phone, it's never going to be the same as if you were in theaters. Getting yourself a nice Blu-ray and a good sound system is the best way to replicate the experience of going to a theater in your own home. I think the idea of going out and getting a Blu-ray gives real significance to the movie-going experience as well. Instead of scrolling on Netflix and throwing on some random shit that's available because Netflix only has like 6 good movies, sit and do some research with your partner or your family and find a movie that you all really want to watch. Not just what's there, something you want to see, something you've heard is good, just something you personally want to experience, and go find it. Chances are it's going to be at the library. When you make it an event to obtain the actual movie, it builds anticipation for the movie in the same way that, you know, buying tickets for the movie would be to go see it in a theater. When you see that stack of Blu-rays sitting on the desk just waiting to be watched, it creates a sense of excitement that's just lost in streaming. Everything being right at our fingertips makes it too easy. You lose the magic. And on top of it, Blu-rays have some cool ass features. You got deleted scenes, and sometimes you even have full second versions of the movie with extended scenes and stuff. Yeah, I want to watch World War Z with Brad Pitt with the extended fight scenes never shown before in theaters, which were apparently too gruesome to watch. I haven't got to that yet, but when I do, I'm going to tell you guys if it was worth it. Bottom line is, go out, rent a movie, get some snacks, settle down, pop in that disc, and I guarantee you'll have a more memorable experience. And who doesn't want to create more amazing memories with movies as a movie lover? So what did we learn? Well, that's for you to decide. What I hope that you take away from this is that sometimes trying something new or trying something you like in a different way can add a whole new level of value to that thing. So I guess what I'm really trying to say is, who the f reads books and what are you, a fucking nerd? That was just a joke. Hope you guys have a good day. Keep watching.